Like a dog in the street.
Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go. Woo!
All right, gentlemen, it's time to make our official picks here, where if we continue on the path that we've been on, we're probably not going to be right, but that's okay. We'll see how the chips fall at Lambeau Field on Sunday. We're going to go through what the markets are saying about this game and who we think is going to win and by how many after we shout out North American Banking Company, which has been Minnesota-based since 1998. If you're looking for a better, more personal, and even local banking experience, North American Banking Company is here to help you with whatever it is that you need financially, whether it's just the blocking and the tackling, the checking, the savings, or maybe you're planning on something bigger like buying a home, financing a new project or a new business. North American Banking Company will help give you peace of mind about where you bank. I've been working with them now for, several months, and really appreciate, again, the personal relationships and the cutting-edge online tools, all with a local experience. nabankcode.com/Mackey to learn more. That's nabankcode.com/Mackey. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Hey, guys.
Hello.
How are we feeling?
How are we feeling? 4-6, Packers coming up. You know what I missed this week? And Phil, I think that you alluded to this at our Thursday appearance at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Roseville.
Yeah.
I missed the anticipation of Packer Week.
Yeah.
Like we didn't get it.
That's a good point. I didn't really,
It's like we didn't get it, and
We're too caught up in our own BS right now with the Vikings to worry about the Packers at this point.
That's always my favorite 2 weeks because it's always build up and blah blah blah. And when things aren't going well, it sort of sucks.
Last year was awesome. Both games had awesome build up for them. You're right that. I'm trying to remember. Like this is about. I'm sure there's been other years too. About as flat as I have felt about the build up for a Packer Vikings game.
Yeah, you probably have to go back in 2023. Didn't we get like a?
We had the Jaron Hall game on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah,
and we all and I think we all knew like this is going to be bad, and it was.
There have
it was
been,
really bad.
Yeah.
There have been times, going back to like 2012-ish or 11-ish, that the team stunk and it just wasn't fun. But I love the buildup, and I miss it when you don't get it.
Yeah. Well, here's how we're going to frame this game up here. Vikings 6.5-point underdogs in most sports books right now. Where's the money going? Where are the bets going? According to Action Network, 60% of bets are on the Vikings. 58% of money is on the Vikings. So the betting public is leaning Vikings with that 6.5-point number. Let's comb through some of what the sharps are saying on the Action Network primer for this game. This is where I'm going to throw a bunch of crazy, possibly conflicting information at you guys, and you can sift through it.
Oh, yeah.
So the Packers have lost 2 consecutive games straight up against the Vikings. You have to go back to 2005 to find the last time that the Packers lost 3 straight, both straight up and against the spread versus Minnesota. So I should say they lost both games straight up and against the spread. It's been a long time since that last happened. Let's see here. Matt LaFleur and Kevin O'Connell have met 6 times as head coaches. This is the first time Green Bay has entered with a better record than Minnesota in any of those matchups.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that Jaron Hall matchup was the same record.
Were the Packers? The Packers. That was the year that they won like 6 games down the stretch to get in at 9-8, right?
And then they beat the Cowboys on Wild Card Weekend. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting.
JJ McCarthy has had struggles this season, but his play on the late downs has really put Minnesota in a bind. He is 7 for 23 passing on 3rd and 4th down with 5 or less to go. And as we've documented, it's even worse with 3 or less to go. He's actually over on the season.
We, in the business, call those weighty downs.
Weighty downs.
That's right. The weighty
weighty downs.
Beefy downs.
I don't think I've ever heard them called beefy, but I like it.
That's right. The Vikings aren't doing much right this season. They are 4-6, both straight up and against the spread. And here is their against the spread records by quarter this season: 4-6, 3-7, 4-6, 4-6. So even by quarter, they're below 500 against the spread.
Ooh.
Vikings. The Packers are just 3-7 against the spread through 10 games. Only the Commanders have a worse against the spread mark this year, and they're 3-8. So the Packers are not good against the number so far this year. Okay. Entering Week 12, the Packers have the toughest remaining strength of schedule of any team. Opponents have a 60% win percentage right now. The easiest game on the schedule is against the Vikings.
Yes.
Record-wise.
Both games against the Vikings, yes.
Yeah. How about that?
So did the Packers replace the Vikings starting with this week in that category? Because there was a stretch where the Vikings had the hardest remaining schedule, like starting with that gauntlet that went through.
Yeah. I think it was after the
forget
bye.
who the first game was.
I think Commanders losing again and Giants losing
Yeah.
again.
But I'm saying the NFC North's up against it.
Yeah. And then let's see here. The Packers have made a habit of starting slow this season. They are 3-7 against the first half spread, and then they pick it up in the second half. So, no, there's not a ton of indicators here. Although, here's one. The Packers are 0-6 against the spread this season as a 4-point favorite or more. The first team 0-6 against the spread or worse in this spot through 11 weeks since the 97 Packers at 0-8-1 against the spread when favored by 4 points or more. So it's been bad for them when they are favored by 4 points or more, which they are, 6.5 against the Vikings on Sunday.
The 97 Packers went to the Super Bowl, right?
They did, yeah. They
lost.
They got beat by the Broncos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Interesting.
Pretty sure, right? Yeah, because they won it in 96 and 97.
They did. Yeah.
So, okay, with that, what are you guys most confident in on behalf of the Vikings?
I am most confident in, and this is an overall big picture thing, but I am most confident in that we are not going to see, the takeaways are not going to decide this game. And here is why, okay? The Vikings are tied for 24th with 4 teams with 9 takeaways this season. 3 picks and 6 fumble recoveries. By the way, 5 of those turnovers came in the Bengals game. 5 of them. They have 1 interception outside of the Bengals game, and that was against the Chargers.
It's crazy.
The Packers, conversely, have 8 takeaways, less than the Vikings. They have both 4 picks and 4 fumble recoveries. So I am confident. I am most confident in, you always talk about sudden change, takeaways. That takeaways are going to play a very small role. The interesting thing about this stat, though, is the Vikings are 31st in the entire league in turnover differential, -9. The Packers are +1. They've only given the ball away 7 times.
Yeah.
They've lost it. So, so that is what I am most confident in. We're not going to see a lot of takeaways in this football game.
Interesting. I feel like all of that means that we're due for a crazy takeaway game.
I hope
on
so.
both sides.
It'd be more fun.
Yeah. But that is really interesting. Yeah, the Vikings, that's one of the biggest reasons why they are out of the playoffs, essentially, compared to last year when they were 14 wins, is they were one of the best turnover margin teams in the league, and now they're one of the worst turnover margin
Look at the
teams in
Bears.
league.
The Bears
Same
are
thing.
the best.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the Bears have forced a takeaway on 20% of opposing offensive drives. Literally
insane.
1 in every 5 offensive drives against the Bears defense results in a turnover. And it's there's some credit to the Bears for being opportunistic there, but there's also a lot of luck and some other smoke built in there where, like, okay, a ball gets tipped or something, or a ball is thrown errantly into the arms of a cornerback that maybe isn't in most games.
Do you guys think that because, to go back again to make the comparison, I guess, to the 22 Vikings and the 25 Bears, do you guys think part of it's not just luck? Do you think part of it is your defense is not great? So teams are like, let's take advantage, let's pass on that. And so because I do feel like part of the Vikings thing is teams decided that they could run a bit more against them, and you're probably not going to have as many fumbles as potential picks. So it feels like it might be luck, but like the Bears defense is bad. So I can see teams saying, let's pass the ball against them. Well, that leads to more opportunities to pick off the ball.
Running the ball against the Bears is the right play. They give up 5.5 yards a carry, but wouldn't wanna run the ball 30 times in a football game. Dex, what are you most confident in on behalf of the Vikings?
So I'm most confident in the Packers continuing this amazing stretch of playing down to their competition. And I know Vikings fans are probably a little bit offended by that because it is a Vikings-Packers game. But the Packers, as we just outlined, do not cover spreads very often. They have a tough time putting away really bad teams and teams that are worse than them. And even to kind of borrow an idea from our guy Jason Harmon at our B-Dubs thing, this is lining up to me with all the bad juju that's around the Vikings to be the most quintessential Vikings W that happens, because you think, oh, this season is now over. They're 6.5-point dogs in Green Bay. Playoffs are far. So like, what's there left to play for? To me, that screams, oh, this is gonna be a classic get right game. So yeah, the Packers do some things well, and there are things that do make me nervous. I'll get to that. But with just the spreads, the Packers always playing down to it, and just the vibes likely shifting, I still actually really like the Vikings' chances, even on the road in Green Bay for this week.
I'll give you. Let's see here. I'm going to give you two things, actually, most confident in. Positive Phil is going to double up on the things that he's most confident in.
Fans will love this.
Yeah? So, number one, actually, you know what? Number two, I could put in the nervous, because there's actually two sides to the second one. So I'll carry over into both categories here. But the Packers' run defense was really stout until November. So the first 7 games of the season for the Packers' run defense, they gave up 46 yards to the Lions in week 1, 51 yards to the Commanders in week 2, 96. Dallas in overtime, they did ding them for 117. And then Cincinnati 55, Arizona, Pittsburgh, both road games for the Packers, both under 100. It was maybe the top, or one of the top 3 rushing defenses in the league until the last 3 games. But in November, Rico Dowdle got him for $130 for Carolina. And last week against the Giants, the combination of Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary for $132 against that Packers defense. So again, it's up to Kevin O'Connell. The Vikings are a very good rushing team when they do it. They're 8th in yards per attempt. And the Packers' run defense has been pretty leaky. They gave up over 100 to the Eagles, who've had a hard time getting their run game going, too. A lot of that was Jalen Hurts ran around a little bit. But the last month, you can run the ball on the Packers defense. So, and then I'll lead off the next category because it kind of straddles the thing I'm most confident in and the thing I'm most nervous about. Jodan Love, when the pocket is clean versus when he's pressured, is one of the most, I would say, wide gaps of any quarterback in the NFL. So the thing I'm most nervous about is when the pocket is clean for Jodan Love, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Clean pocket. This dude has an 82% completion mark. And actually, if you take away drops and throwaways, 87% adjusted completion percentage for Jodan Love when the pocket's clean. 15 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a 127.5 passer rating. So if he is operating in a clean pocket on Sunday, you're losing, or at least you're going to have to score 30-some points. On the flip side, back to the thing I'm most confident in, he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league when pressured. So when he's pressured, that completion percentage drops to 38%, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a passer rating of 45.5.
Wow.
So I don't know that there is a wider gap between the performance of a starting quarterback when kept clean versus when pressured. So this all comes down to, can Brian Flores and company get to Jodan Love? There's kind of a funny twist in here, too, because just because you blitz doesn't mean you're going to get a pressure. The blitz has to get close to home for it to be a pressure, right? When blitzed, Jodan Love is awesome this season. So the Packers' offensive line has done a really good job picking up blitzes, and Jodan Love has done a good job getting the ball out when blitzed, because when he's blitzed, his passer rating is 110.3. So whether you're blitzing or not, if you get pressure on Jodan Love, he's not good. It all comes down to that Packers offense versus Viking defense to me.
Now, here's the key thing, too. The Packers center, Jenkins, is out. And so Sean Ryan is going to be making his second career start at center. So you need that interior pressure. Jonathan Allen.
Big gap.
Hargrave. Exactly. Hargrave. It's time to step up. Redmond's been great. He deserves credit. Levi Drake Rodriguez. Whirling dervishes in the middle there. Because, I mean, if you can get pressure from the interior like that, yeah, that's at least going to give you a chance.
All right, what are you most nervous about, Judd?
Well, I mean, JJ McCarthy.
You can say it, yeah.
Yeah, it just has to be. Like, it's by this point, it's redundant, but JJ McCarthy, I just don't know. I don't know what you're going to get. I don't know what you're going to get. Are you going to get a guy that shows progress, that hits more passes than he misses? Are you going to get a guy that can't hit the broadside of a barn? Are you going to get a play calling game that you don't like, that's not going to run enough, that's going to try to pass the ball? Like, there's just so many variables here that go into this. And again, I am just prioritizing his growth right now. I am not even prioritizing a win. I know wins are nice, I get it. But I am prioritizing his growth. What's best for the child? That's my question. I am like an adoption agency for quarterbacks, okay? And Kevin O'Connell, you're adopting my kid.
You trying to take him out of this home? Or are you...
I am an adoption agency.
CPS, your CPS?
I am asking you, can I do a visit?
QBPS?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a surprise visit, impromptu surprise visit to see how the child is being handled. What are your intentions for the child? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is like JJ McCarthy is the thing that is the most uncertain, 100%.
Right.
So that is a fair thing to be nervous about. And the Packers defense, they've had some blips here and there, but like by and large, it's a really good defense. So
yes, it's well coordinated for sure.
Mm-hmm. The thing that makes me the most nervous going into this game, the Packers offense just sustaining long drives. So number one, no one is better on third down than the Packers offense this year. They lead the NFL in third down percentage. In terms of time spent, they're 8th. In terms of plays ran, they're 8th. This is just in terms of offensive plays run throughout the course of a game. In yards, their yards per drive, they're also 5th. So like, they can keep their offense on the field for a long time. And a big problem for the Vikings, and it feels like a season-long thing, but especially recently, is the Vikings defense can't even get off the field on 3rd and longs. So if you're combining that with a team that's really good at long, sustained drives and converting in those third down situations, I mean, that would make me the most nervous going into this game, is just a time of possession. And the Vikings also, conversely, being really bad, getting 3 and outs a lot on offense, so they can't give their defense a break. So those are the things that will definitely make me the most nervous.
Yeah. The way that you would hang on to the ball longer is to either complete a bunch of passes. Like, there's literally 2 ways to sustain long drives in the NFL. Complete passes at a high rate, which they don't, and they might not until we fix some mechanics, or run the ball. Run the ball. Run. Didn't the Bears have a 15-play scoring drive where they ran the ball 11 times?
Run. Yes. And the Bears could have, by the way, run the ball more.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing. I know you guys are all geniuses, okay? You're all football geniuses. You're savants when it comes to calling plays, you coaches. You're unbelievable. But yeah, exactly right. That guy with 2 legs who goes woo with the ball, they should give it to him.
Run the ball. Okay. All right, who wins and who covers here in just a moment. But Underdog is a great place to spend your football weekend.
Absolutely. Go download the Underdog app in the App Store and the Google Play Store. You can sign up with promo code SCORE, get the pick'em action on, ride higher or lower on so many different categories. You can do cross-sport entries too, so maybe if you want to dabble in a football Sunday and a basketball Sunday, you can do the same thing there on Underdog. Sign up with promo code SCORE. Send me those screenshots too. I love seeing our audience win up to 25 times their money and even more, which is sweet. So extra cash in your pocket, especially with the holiday season coming up. So go download the Underdog app and sign up with promo code SCORE.
One of the biggest benefits for me the last 3 months of being at Game Day Men's Health, 3 locations in the Twin Cities, Edina, Minnetonka, Roseville, my sleep scores. I started tracking sleep scores. I've just got like a watch that I wear that tracks steps and sleep scores every night, going back probably 7 years. The last 3 months, the best sleep scores I've had. If I got, I don't know, this is a Fitbit, so I don't know how it translates with other ones, but if I get usually like an 80 sleep score, that's a huge win for me. But sometimes if I don't get enough sleep, or maybe I had a cocktail the night before or something, I can get sleep scores in the 60s, like low 60s. My low sleep scores the last 3 months are 77, 78, up to 90. And I give credit to Game Day Men's Health for helping me increase energy, decrease mental fog, and help with my sleep scores. Whatever it is that you are looking to reclaim in your life as a guy, Game Day Men's Health can help you. Testosterone replacement therapy, weight loss solutions, treatment for ED, peptides. They'll do advanced lab work beyond what your primary may do. So check them out either in person at one of the 3 locations or online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com/Purple Daily. If you mention Purple Daily, you get a free vitamin shot at your first visit, in addition to your free T-test consultation. GameDayMen'sHealth.com/Purple Daily. All right. Vikings are 6.5-point dogs. All of us are 4-6, just like the Vikings, picking Vikings games straight up this year. Against the spread, you guys are both 4-6. I'm only 5-5, so none of us are profitable. But Jeb, we'll start with you. Vikings 6.5-point dogs. Who wins and by how many?
You know what? I was going to say Packers win, Packers cover, but then you gave me the stat that the Packers have failed to cover all season long. Basically, I mean that's a very interesting trend. So I'm going to say Packers win, but they don't cover.
Okay, we'll thread that needle there.
That's a very that's a really intriguing statistic.
Yeah, when I think they're 0 for when they are 4-point favorites or more.
That's what it was.
Covering the spread.
Yep,
covering the spread.
They'll continue.
Right,
I had the Vikings winning this game. I feel like this is the classic get right situation for Minnesota sports. I really do. With us thinking that this season is completely shot and over, regardless, even if I picked the Packers to win this game, I don't think they would have covered the 6.5. I think that number is just far too big. The trends say they don't, so I would have picked them not to cover regardless. But I also just think straight up, if you're asking my feelings, give me the Vikings to win this game, man. I think this feels like a classic recipe of hooking us back in. We've been doing this. We've been doing Vent Line and on this show and Purple Daily for 5+ years together. And over the course of a season, we've never really had, at least in our 5 years, of like continued bad Vikings seasons for long stretches of time. They'll pop back up and hook us back in. And they've done that well more than the first 5 years of us doing this. So it just screams to me a Vikings win in Lambeau.
I agree with Declan. I think the cover feels like 6.5 is a lot for a division game. The perception of these teams, the Packers at one point were like trendy Super Bowl favorites a month and a half ago, and the Vikings have had this kind of disastrous year. So the perception is wider than the reality. There is not a 6.5-point gap, in my opinion, between these two teams. You could argue, obviously, if McCarthy continues to play the way that he did against the Bears until the final drive, that, okay, maybe there is a 6.5-point gap. But Kevin O'Connell has kind of had Matt LaFleur's number in some ways. Some of the big leads remember they had like a 4-touchdown lead. They almost blew it last season. And I think Flores is going to find ways to get pressure on Jodan Love and maybe turn the ball over. So I think this game gets weird for the Packers, and it does feel like, well, everything's moving in this direction, but in the NFL, that means usually something else is going to happen. So call us homers, whatever you want. I got
Don't
the
call me a
Vikings
homer.
to
I'm
win this
picking the
game straight
Packers.
up.
I'm picking the Packers.
You are. It's true. So let us know in the comment section who wins, what's the final score, and we'll see you right after Vikings-Packers live on the Purple Daily YouTube channel for Vikings Vent Line tomorrow.